Hello guys, today we are going to learn how call by value and call by reference are used in Java programming. Mainly call by value and call by reference are used to refer how arguments are passed into methods in Java programming. Today, now we are going to learn how we use call by value in our Java programming. Initially, I am declaring my public package name. The package name is functions. So here I'm going to declare my public class. So I'll name my class name as call by value. And after creating a class named call by value, I'm going to create some variables names, integer, sorry, integer A and integer B. Now I'm going to create a private access specifier. Uh, and again, I'm going to create a static keyword here, private static. I'm not willing to return any of the return statements for any of the data types. So I'm creating a void type here. And I'm going to name this method as method. And here I'm going to perform the sum of two integers. So I'm going to enter integer A and integer B. So we can name this as C and D since we can understand it easily. So inside this, we return error. The method from the called by tab. Okay, we haven't used this. There's some time to use that. So here we are going to initialize the value of integer C to 10. Let us initialize the value of integer C to 10. And here now I'm going to print this system.out.println, the sum of C and D after C and D is. Now we need to get the sum C plus D. So since we haven't given any of the return type here, since it is only the void method which we are using, it's not any integer data types. So if we need to give the integer data type, we need to return any of the integer value here. So there's no use of returning any of the value here since we have used this void statement. So after this, I'm going to start this main method, public static void main string arguments. And then now I'm going to create an object. Since I need to access the method, I need to create some objects, right? So firstly, to create an object, what's the syntax for that? Class name, call by value. So now I need to create an object name. So I'll name my object as obj, and I'm using the new keyword. New keyword is used for instantization of an object. We have seen this while creating an object. I have made a video for that. Uh, Many of you guys can see that call by value obj equal to new. This keyword is used for instantization, and now I'm going to end this call by value close. So I've created an object by using this. Now I'm going to use this. So I have initialized the variable a in the class itself. It's a public class, so I can use this integer a and integer b. So firstly, I'm initializing obj dot a as 2 and obj dot b as 5. Initially, I'm going to print the values of obj dot a and obj dot b before entering the method. So the sum of a and b is plus obj dot a plus obj dot b, right? Now we can call the method now. Method of obj dot a comma obj dot b. I've called the method here. Since what's the reason for not using any of the object here? See, like there's a possibility that I can use this call by value dot. So this is also the correct method. But instead of doing this, we can directly access this method by directly giving the method name and the parameters, the arguments. So here we need to know something. Here, this was the parameters in the method, right? Here, these were the parameters in the main method. Arguments. They were to be in this language, we can name them as arguments. These were arguments in main method, right? So once we call this method, namely method, this method returns to this method, and here the values of int c and int d, this obj.a, the value of obj.a is equal to 2. This 2 is copied into int c, integer c, and the obj.b, 5, is copied into integer d. So the values of the arguments are copied into the parameters. So we can understand the meaning of that by seeing a definition. So what does call by value mean? Call by value mean that argument value is copied and passed to the parameter list of that method. So here the value of obj.a is is copied and passed into this integer c. And here obj.b, the argument value of obj.b is passed into integer d. So now when the method continues to run, here the value of c has changed to 10. So here 10 plus, what's the value of integer d? 5, 15. So we can expect the output 15. And before giving the output, I'm going to execute before this system dot out dot println. So we can copy this. So I've named it before entering into method and after entering into method. It makes it easy to understand. Some issue in my computer, right? So here I'm closing this. So here after entering into method, so once the value of c and d is printed, the sum of c and d is printed when it enters into method, we expected the output as 15, right? So OP is 15 here. So once this is in the main method, obj.a is equal to 2, obj.b equal to 5. So before entering it into the method or the function call, the values of the initial values of obj.a and obj.b will be printed. So what's the value of obj dot plus obj.b? 2 plus 5 is 7. So OP is 7 in this particular line. So in this line, so once the method exits, once the variables or the parameters exits from the method or the method stops functioning, so here this line executes. There's one more line, right? System.out.println, the sum of a and b after entering into method, after exiting. Sorry, after exiting from method. So once the method stops running, we get into this line. So obj dot a plus obj dot b. So once the value changes in obj dot a changes from 2 to 10 in the method, there is no possibility in call by value that the value remains, the original value remains the original when it comes out of the method. So obj dot a remains as 2 when it is out of the method, when it exits from the method. So 2 plus 5 equal to 7. So let's see our output. Let's check it. We need to save this, and here the output comes, right? Yeah, this is our expected output, and this is our output which we came from our compiler IDE. So here the sum of a and b before entering into method is 7. The sum of, here this statement is printed, the sum of a and b before entering into method is obj.a plus obj.b, obj.a plus obj.b, 2 plus 5 equal to 7. This is our expected output, right? And here after executing that statement, we are calling the method. So we can simply call it as uh, function call, right? Sorry, I was in the same line. So we can simply call it as this is a function call, right? So once the function is called, this gets into this function. This now the method starts executing, the method starts working. So the values of the arguments were passed, copied and passed into parameters. So here, what were the arguments given into this method in the main block? Obj.a and obj.b. So the values of obj.a, it means 2, and the value of obj.b, it means 5. Both of them were passed into the method. Integer c is obj.a and integer d is obj.b. But when we entered into this method, there is a problem here. So the value of obj.a, it means integer c, have changed from 2 to 10, right? So the value changes from 2 to 10, right? Let me give comments. 2 to 10. And but the value of b doesn't change. Obj.b doesn't change. It means integer d doesn't change since we haven't given any of the changes here. So system.out.println, the sum of c and d is plus c and plus d, right? So the output is 15. And when the method exits, there's a line, one more line to execute. The sum of a and b after exiting from the method is obj.a plus obj.b. The main difference between call by value and call by reference is that, so once this obj.a, this particular argument is copied into parameter, then the value has been changed from 2 to 10. So once it exits from the method, the original value of obj.a doesn't change. It remains as 2. When it enters into the method, it changes to 10. When it exits from the method, it remains as 2. It changes back to 2. So this is the main difference between call by value and call by reference. When we use the same thing in call by reference, so when the value of c changes from 2 to 10, even after exiting from the method, call by reference uses the same c equal to 10 in obj.a. So the output will be 10 plus 5, 15. So when we use call by reference here, the last line, the output will be 15, right? Hope you understand the method of call by value. Now I'm going to explain call by reference in the next video. Thank you.